Hello, hello, hello. What is up, everybody? It is Thursday. It is noon, my time, 1 o'clock for Jason and our East Coast filmmakers. And that means it is time for the Wedding Film School show, where we are live reviewing wedding films submitted by you guys, by our community of wedding filmmakers. And today, it is myself and Jay. What's up, Jay?
Oh no, I set this up wrong. I'll do it this way.
Oh no.
We're good.
Well, I will.
I am good.
Talk.
No,
there
we're
is
good.
Jay by himself.
We're
There
awesome.
is
No, we're back.
us.
We're back. We're back.
We're back.
I'm doing wonderful, Bobby. What about you?
I'm doing great too. We had a week off last week. We were all swamped. Such is life, right?
Such is life. I'm gonna make this thing work while I'm here.
All right. Well, I'm gonna talk while you do that. Guys, if you have been here before, say what's up in the comments. Good to see you all. I see a lot of people here already. And if you have not been here, then a little, I think I have a black bar on my side, Jay.
Yeah. Oh well, I'll just keep it on.
We're just gonna deal with it.
We'll just keep it on the one that we know
absence
works.
Makes the heart grow fonder. I love it. So we took a week off, doing things. We've got a lot in the works for you, but we're back. And the way that we run this, guys, we're going to review films that you guys submitted to us. I did not post in comments. I will post it shortly after I talk here with the link to submit your films. We are going to try to take one film live today, but if
our goal.
you submitted over the past week, then you have a chance at getting reviewed. And the way that we review your films, we watch the full film. Well, we watch up to 5 minutes if it's a longer film. So you can submit a teaser, a wedding highlight, a longer wedding if you want. We'll watch up to 5 minutes, and then we're going to share things that we love about this film, things that we think the filmmaker really excelled in, things where we see, no matter where they are in their career, we can say, hey, even if you're brand new, we can say, hey, you clearly have a good eye for this, or your exposure is solid, or whatever. And then we're going to switch to things where we say, here are things that I think you could work on, and these are going to be the most impactful things for your next wedding film. And that's going to change too. We always like to say, we're not grading, we're not giving you a score. We're not saying this is an 80 out of 100. What we're doing is we're trying to meet filmmakers where they're at and give them constructive feedback to improve as wedding filmmakers, because that's, we're here as a community, and we're here to grow and learn together. So,
yes.
Jay, you got anything to add to that?
Well, I was gonna say we have the new season of Wedding Film School show dropping next week, and so we're really excited about that. We've been recording a lot of episodes. We got
I'm even on some episodes.
Yeah,
that's when
But we got
hard at work.
We got honestly, we just did one with Peyton Frank, which I was blown away.
We've got some awesome guests. We're not even, guys, we are cranking these episodes out. We have some awesome guests. And we're not even done.
No,
filming.
I'm trying to get, me and Ray are working on doing one next week, and just a bunch of stuff. But the first episode we're doing is a little bit of it's a spicy meatball.
It's a spicy meatball that we kind of, I want to say we forced it in, but it wasn't the original plan. We kind of pivoted, right? And we're like, this has got to be first.
Yeah, because I was going to do Sharon first from Fjord Films, but then I was like, no, we got to do
pretty solid podcast.
Yeah.
So if we're switching it, it's got to be
We got to do this because it's timely, right? And it's the episode about Tolman Media. Because we're talking about, dude, this is the craziest. I knew when it first dropped. If you don't know about Tolman Media was, the Ray. Tolman Media was the, basically a big national chain. They're in almost every market. They had 60 different branches.
Yeah.
And they closed. And so I've been digging. I actually did a bunch of Zoom chats, or a Zoom chat with a bunch of people who are ex-Tolman employees and contractors. I've been digging. I watched a bunch of podcasts, and I took Brian Tolman's class.
Yeah, Jay has the receipts, guys. And I'll tell you what, I was not a part of, Jay and I have discussed loosely that we were like, yeah, we should do this, etc. I wasn't a part of the live chat. I didn't take Brian Tolman's class. So I'm super excited to see.
I highly recommend it for anyone who wants to see how
really?
a pyramid scheme works.
Jay, how many regions are you in now that you took his class? Are you in the 60 as well? Or
I'm honestly so the thing about this episode is, I'm still trying to explore this, because the concept of like, what is, like, these national chains are coming into markets, right? And they pay people.
Yeah, and there's that line, right? Like,
they pay people a lot of money, pretty good. Like, if you're shooting for them, you're making $70 to $100 an hour, right? Not bad, right? If you're
with pretty low expectations, I feel like.
Oh yeah, you can pretty much do anything.
Yeah, actually, like, give footage, and that's about all that matters.
I looked at their editing back end.
Okay.
A spreadsheet of all the feedback of all the shooters.
Oh, I saw that too.
It was like, is garbage.
Yeah.
That was one person's feedback.
Dude, I went in and I looked because, did you send that to me? Somehow, it got floated out where you could like, I don't know if they just didn't secure it or whatever, but you could get into like a lot of stuff.
I've looked at all these people's Google Drive folders.
Yeah, I looked at something that just had all their passwords for a bunch of stuff.
It's not very secure.
Yeah, it's wild. But I remember looking because you could sort by region. So I was like, I wonder because I'm in Minneapolis, right? I was like, I wonder in my area who's shooting for Tolman. And I could just see, I just pulled it up.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
you're put on notice. I know who you are.
Yeah. But I think like the biggest thing is like the business model.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, because you see, like, this company, they're charging, they would start at $1,400 for photo and video for 6 hours of coverage. That's just insane. And like, you look at their, but then they're paying their shooter like $450, $500, $400. Not terrible at all.
No.
So these people are showing up and they're like, this is fine, and they're shooting, and it's one of those things like, where's the canary in the coal mine? Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to us as filmmakers, how it affects us. Like, I think the clients, there's a lot of lessons to be learned for the clients who are hiring these people. But as filmmakers, I think the lesson is really, really convoluted, because if you get the lesson like, never work for national chains or studios, it's like, that's not true. A lot of people need to work for studios. They might be making 20 grand a year shooting for studios. They don't have the bookings yet.
This year, I'm like, man, should I just like shoot for somebody? It'd be so low stress for me.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I've done a couple last year. I did 40 weddings, and I did 2 of them for other people for fun. And I made a little money, but I helped Kyle Smith with the wedding, and I helped Lindsay Conklin with the wedding. So
I might be helping you with the wedding.
Yes. Oh yeah, I would like to do that if we can do it.
Whatever, Georgia or whatever that was.
That would be a blast. But anyway, you should listen,
but
because
all that to say, yes, March 7th.
March 7th, we're going to be dropping them, and we're going to be dropping them weekly now.
Weekly, guys. We are cranking them out. We've got a bunch in the hopper ready to go. And I will say this, as we end on our little short detour from Wedding Film Reviews and our discussion on Tolman, I'm just saying it, like, you guys know on this show, we tell it like it is. On the podcast, if you listen to us, we tell it like it is. So I feel like you are probably in for a treat when we talk about Tolman Media and their business practices.
Yeah, so I'll just say this. It's essentially a Ponzi scheme, and the people made all their money. The Tolman, I'll give you this little teaser. Tolman Media was actually 2 companies, the company that owned Tolman HQ, and the names of these companies were Dynasty and Empire.
So no ego involved at all.
So if you want to learn about Dynasty and Empire and how they tricked a bunch of people into licensing the Tolman brand, who have no idea how to make wedding films, who ran businesses at a deficit, and then somehow that caused the business to go under, check out our podcast.
Tune in March 7th as we kick off season 3. But without further ado,
who's our first film?
And real quick, guys, if you want to watch the podcast, it's on our sister channel called the Wedding Film School Show on YouTube. And then you can also find it on all audio podcast platforms as well. So audio only, or if you want the YouTube side, we do record video. You can see our beautiful faces. And I promise I will be on more episodes this season as well.
And I was
because I'm already on 1, which is basically tied for what I was on last season.
I was gonna tease one other thing too. Is I'm working on a new show with the photographer Binge Heish. So if you're into Binge Heish and you want to hear us, we're talking more art, fulfillment. It's photo and video guys talking about the wedding industry from both different sides. And he's awesome and really cool. And I am mediocre, but I'm the only filmmaker he knew. So we happen to have a show. So we're working on
awesome and really cool, and Jay is mediocre and semi-cool.
I'm just aggressive.
By their powers combined.
And somehow I just breathe all the air in the room. So
yes.
Regardless.
But with that said, we've got some films for you today. And a reminder, guys, we are taking live submissions for our 3rd film. The link is pinned at the top of chat. So submit a film, a teaser, whatever you want right now, and that will be one of the 3rd ones. But up first, we have Brandon Moy.
He's from my neck of the woods.
Oh, tell me if I pronounce it right. Moy?
Moy is what I've always said. I don't know if that's correct,
1 or 2,
Brandon.
I know you're in chat. So excited to review your film. Excited to have you in chat. That always makes it way more fun. And here is what Brandon said. I had COVID. Well, that's a big starter right there. Couple hired 2 shooters, and I tested positive the night before. Had to move my assistant to lead and find another assist last minute. Last minute, more than last minute. I did bring my equipment and hand off and stayed to shoot aerial of ceremony. So kind of removed yourself from the area, but got a few shots. That's actually a pretty smart idea if you're, feeling up to it and just tested positive. It was my first time not shooting a wedding I was hired to film. Couple expressed their displeasure. That's kind of shitty.
They expressed their displeasure?
Yeah, like, what do you want me to do?
Okay, I mean, I'd be like, okay, I'll shoot your wedding with COVID. Fine by me.
Yeah, but I'm not wearing a mask and I'm coughing all over you.
Get out of here with that.
I also hired an editor to do the main compilation of clips, and then I moved added clips. So, Brandon, I'd love to hear in chat exactly like where did this editor leave you? Was it a totally finished product that you then changed, or was it like it's intentionally 70% of the way there and then you did more to it? Trying to see if objectively my brand may be better suited to survive without me having so much creative control over shooting and editing. I think that's a great conversation.
Well, I also love, I would say, I would like to know your opinion on that too, Brandon. We can give you our opinion on the film, but I'd love to know your opinion.
Yeah. In my own way, or am I, sorry, oh man, I can't read. Am I in my own way sometimes? That's a great conversation to have with yourself and with other creatives. I did choose the songs and a few key moments in the film for the editor to build around. We ready for this?
Yeah, so this is I shoot this venue all the time. This is the Wadsworth Mansion. It's in Connecticut.
Ooh. Dude, you guys have all these like mansions? Like
lots of mansions.
Europe is like something castle. East Coast is something mansion. And I'm like the something barn.
Yes, we don't really have venue. And if we do have a barn, it's a barn in Newport, a rich person barn. So.
Barn.
Yeah, but this is a pretty cool place. This is like they're owned by the state, I believe, actually. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's actually most of them. Most of them are owned by the states that they're in. So here we go.
Welcome, family and friends. This is an amazing day.
Oh, it's loud in this place tonight.
Brandon, I wonder, why did they get married on that instead of the lawn like everybody else? That's interesting. I wonder how wet it was. It looks wet.
It does.
And shared something personal. Said I won't tell a soul. I'll just turn it into fiction. I know wanna talk.
Dan and today is the day you will remember for the rest of your lives. Now there are moments that you're just trying to catch your breath in life. And then there are moments that are going to take your breath away. And this is one of them.
As a little girl, I've always dreamed about who my groom would be and what he'd be like. Little did I know, he was right in front of me the whole time.
In the static of your energy, it's pulsing in and out of time. And I don't wanna say too much.
I want you to understand that God didn't prepare me just to be a husband. God prepared me to be your husband. This story only goes one way. It only works with me and you. And I'm so grateful I get to stand here in front of y'all and declare my love for you.
And our body is rising, and our chemicals are synchronizing. If you're hollow, I will fill your space.
You will never be alone in any season that life offers us.
Here's to the beginning of forever. I cannot wait to get this party started. Always yours, Nadine.
Unchained. Woo. Wild hearts. Unchained.
I always promise to be your best friend, to be on the same team, which is the dream team. I admire you as a person. I am in awe of your journey here on this earth. Where you are, as you stand, where you'll go.
I promise to always keep God first in our marriage and follow you as you follow Christ. I promise to love you fiercely. I promise to choose you over and over again with each passing day. I promise to love you and your family as if they were my own.
Daniel, you may kiss your bride.
Catch your echoes and we feel this flame.
Mr. and Mrs. Daniel Holmes Felton.
Wild hearts unchained.
Worst place for a reception.
Really?
Hate this place. I love the Wadsworth, man. I've actually done like some their promotional videos, but and great team, awesome. But like it's so tough to shoot.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in how the dance floor goes because it's just like it's always a pain. That room is like 15 feet wide.
With this ring, I marry you, Nadej.
With this ring, I marry you, Daniel.
With everything I offer to you.
My name,
My heart,
my all.
forever. Amen.
They got a little sun there.
Hello, everyone. It is me, Daniel
this
Holmes
the end?
Felton,
This a song?
and my beautiful wife.
Staring at you on this airplane. I ain't worried about nothing, cause you got me feeling like the Wayne Wade in 03. Yeah, you and me, we got the heat. So bump all that anxiety. But you hit to the side of me.
Nadej and Dan, the love between you two can be felt by every single person in this room here tonight. We all wish you a life full of love and laughter. Here's to happily ever after.
But I really wanna tell you that I still get goosebumps whenever you call. When I pull up to your house in my car. When we kiss, you make me sound the alarm. When we kiss, that thing go ring, ring.
I don't want to imagine a life where you can't be by my side and I'm not by yours. You are my little sis, my best friend, and my family. I love you always.
I don't want you saying that you had a better chance without me. That you wish you had made plans without me. Look, I hate to make this song about me.
Now you have someone who's a perfect match for you. And you know what? At the end of the day, she's always going to make you feel the rainbow, buddy. I love you. And let's raise a toast to the lovely couple.
When we kiss, that thing go ring, ring, ring. You get goosebumps whenever
love you both to death and will go to war behind you guys in a heartbeat. It's the biggest blessing for me to have been here for it all, and the journey is just beginning. So congrats to Mr. and Mrs. Holmes Fountain.
When we kiss, you make me sound alone. When we kiss, that thing go ring.
This is a really well-dressed wedding.
Yeah.
Ring, ring. You get goosebumps whenever you call. When I pull up to your house.
Okay, the shoes too.
When we kiss, you make me sound alone. When we kiss, that thing go ring, ring, ring.
Okay, Bobby.
Sweet.
Did you get a lot of King of the Hill jokes when you were growing up? Was that like Bobby?
I mean, I didn't get 0 of them.
I mean, I love that show so much. Anyway,
I was never big into that show. I'm not gonna lie.
my dad's from Texas, so like it just reminds me of it's way too realistic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
For sure.
Okay. So what? If you haven't seen the show before, we like to do a round of stuff we loved about the film and then some things where Brandon could maybe level up. In this case, because he didn't shoot the wedding, I think we should. I'm going to give one particular type of feedback. And the feedback is going to be the feedback I would give, like, this is how I would try to create a streamlined process. This is what I do for my studio. And the stuff I would say to one of my shooters, like, hey, you didn't do X, you didn't do Y. And then we can just talk about the editing. So why don't you go first, Bobby?
Yeah, so, sorry, we're starting on things that we
don't
hate.
I don't know.
I had to take notes on my phone because I can't find a pen at my desk. Okay, things that I really liked, I mentioned right off the bat. I really liked the first song. The second song worked for me. It was whatever, but I think the first song really had a lot of like depth, and so I like it as a song being used. I also like it as a choice for, I don't know this couple, I guess, but I feel like it fit the day, it fit the couple while being like unique and slightly different kind of. I think there are different ways you could have gone with this song, and I like the direction you chose. I think the pacing of the edit was really, really good. Again, I know it's not your edit, kind of, right? I mean, you had like some things to do with this day, but like less than usual, I would say. So it's a unique spot that you found yourself in for sure. But yeah, I think the pacing of this really worked well. You have some solid shots, great coverage. I think it was a really well like constructed story too. Like there were ups and downs. I'm really focused on the first half of this because I'm going to get into some things I didn't like as much, when we get to that section. But yeah.
So I think this is a really strange film to me in how it made me feel. And so like, because I know objectively that it's executed well in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to figure out what didn't sit right with me. But I like a lot of the shots. Like it's almost like I know the venue really well, so I know what it provides, where the opportunities are. And it also seems like the weather was crap, and I feel like they kind of made the most of it. Like they did it all. They did all the stuff, and it wasn't a disaster at all. It was like, especially considering what it could have been, where it was like, oh crap, I got a bill on this one. I think that's pretty cool that he was able to kind of pull this one together. And I think that's a huge success in terms of like, being able to kind of impart your vision on someone who's a shooter and like actually I'm assuming the client loved it, and that must have been a huge weight off your shoulders, Brandon. So I think that's also successful.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear from Brandon in chat. Like, what did you get this footage back, maybe you review it, maybe you just pass it off. Like, do you feel like it was a disconnect from your brand, or was this a proof of proof of concept, so to speak, to you that it's like, hey, this guy who's usually my second or my assistant, like he can shoot like me. I can create my films without me being there.
Yeah, definitely.
On occasion.
So what do you think could be improved, Bobby?
Yeah, so things I wrote down for that. Okay, couple small things. Sometimes I think there was a little bit of stuff here and there with like your horizons, especially on drone stuff or something like that. And so, a couple times I think it was intentional, but sometimes it just felt like tilted. I don't know how I feel about the black and white stuff. I kind of liked it in the beginning. It was its own little thing, but then we kind of just see it throughout the film, and I'm not inherently against it. I'm not just like black and white, wrong move. But I do question what's the intention behind it. What's the motivation behind it? And I don't know that I can answer that, but it's something that I think is a discussion that's worth having, where it's like, what, like, is this black and white because it you just liked it? Is it black and white because the lighting was bad and it looks better this way? Was it like, but how does it fit then, kind of, is a question that I would always have. And then I think combined with the black and white, like, I guess the flip side of that is this being black and white totally pointless? This specific shot or that shot or whatever. And so I think that's kind of where my question
Well,
arises.
and also every time they went to it, it was the person didn't do it right. So it was underexposed.
Well, there you go. Also that. But then part of it is like, so on top of, is the black and white have a purpose? There are definitely not zero shots in this film that I think I question if that shot has a purpose at all. Like there's just some random shots of random stuff that I just don't think drives anything forward. And some of those are the black and white ones. And then the biggest thing that issue that I had with this film is the first half felt like its own film. The second half to me felt like its own film, and the second half felt lower quality than the first half.
This is my thing.
Storytelling and
in terms of like that thing that you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, this is why I was like conflicted, because there's a lot of good shots, and I literally felt like I just kept seeing the exact same moments over and over and over again. And then
it was a lot longer than I think it needed to be. Well, and that second half just felt like you used all your favorite stuff in the first 3.5 minutes or something. Then it was like, oh shit, I need 3 more minutes, and you just like,
he got dressed like 3 times in the film, and then there was like whoever you shot. This is what I was gonna say in regards to that, and maybe it's related. Like, they didn't have the footage. Like, when you have people shoot for you, you have to explain to them what you need to make your edit.
Yeah.
Right. And so like,
yeah,
I would watch in this film and I'm going, where's my table details?
Yeah.
Where's my room pushes? Where's my, like, there's hardly any details. This person doesn't know how to shoot details. They just hung around the couple the whole day.
Yeah. And so it doesn't
just
give you a lot of variety.
Yeah. They didn't give you a lot of variety. I also think like you were saying with like Horizons.
Yeah. A
lot of the gimbal work was really bad. Like they would like,
I wouldn't say it was really bad, but I would say there was we've seen really bad, and I don't think it was that, but I think given the level of
for someone who knows how to shoot,
exactly, yeah,
it was like it was like they're doing like push-ins of like, like I know that property, and I'm like, why do they show so much of the like driveway?
Yeah, that was one of the shots that I was going to bring up. I was like, I feel like this is kind of a pointless shot.
Well, but there's a good shot there.
Because there was a couple of them.
I shoot that shot all the time, but I shoot the trees.
Yeah.
And like they'll like kind of do like a lot of like parallax moves, but then the center of the parallax is off axis. And it was just like they're shooting like all weird angles. And I just felt like the person was like, you could see the nervousness. And so kind of if Brandon or anyone who's hiring someone to shoot for them, especially if they're not there, like that shot right there, right here, Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
This shot, this push-in of these hanging Edison bulbs.
Oh yeah.
That's a dumb shot.
Yeah.
Like that shot, you would have been way better getting a close-up of those like hydrangeas.
Yep.
Or like anything
100%.
better. Like they're just shooting like a bunch of stuff that isn't that good. Yeah. And then like this shot right here. This is not a good shot. You should have done that shot, but at the building.
Yeah.
If he just turned around, Bobby, that long driveway leads to that mansion.
Okay.
So instead they do a push in away from the mansion, which is just like just having that conversation.
It's a lot of like I would say like chaotic. What it felt like, kind of like running around like what is it, like chicken with your head cut off, like just coverage and not intentionality.
Yeah, what am I doing?
Then,
what am I doing?
Some shots were intentional, but some were just like
a lot were
record.
good.
Okay, record. Okay, I'm gonna go this way, and it's like, no, turn around, shoot the building.
Yeah, A lot were very good.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say it was bad, but
No.
But I would agree with you too on the two sides. I think all of it, that contributes to the reason why the edit felt that way, because I think this person didn't give him much to work with.
That's exactly. Yep.
And I think the editor. I actually disagreed. I felt like the pacing on the film was kind of glacial.
I like the first.
I like the song and I like the cuts, but in terms of story, I was like, I kept thinking like, didn't we see this already? Like I didn't really understand like what the story was. It just was like a looping of like the same kind of moment. So I would say like, I like having a little more of an intentional flow to the story where someone could like map it out.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else. But I find it so interesting, given that, you know, Brandon, that you're just kind of thrown into this scenario, and I think like we said, I think at the start, I think the couple loved this. So, you know, you probably, even though they expressed their displeasure with you or whatever it was, I think that I'm curious if you felt like this was overall a win. You know, because this is also like, you know, Jay, one of the things, like, this wasn't like, hey, I'm going to send my team to this wedding for the first time. Here's all the stuff I have to prep. This was night before positive COVID test. Oh, shoot. You got to shoot this by yourself. Like, no time to really prepare. And I think given that, I think you put together something solid.
Yeah, I think it was probably a big win considering the circumstances.
Yeah.
I think the editor, this is the key. Anytime you're working with people, it takes a while to gel. You know, and so getting like, I would consider this a success, but I would also consider it a failure, if that makes sense. Like, hey, it was great for what it was for the situation. I know this can be better, and this is how we're going to work on it. And I think if this is something you want to do, like, you have to come up with like, what is the method to my madness? Like, what do I consider a good detail shot? Like, we make a whole video every year. This is how to shoot tables. This is how to shoot.
Though, Jay, like, Brandon, if this is usually his second shooter, do you think Brandon is usually like, okay, you go cover cocktail hour while I get table shots? And this second shooter just had never really done table shots, and it's not even on their radar?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying is why it's a failure and a success, because it's not a bad film.
It's a great stepping stone.
Yeah.
It's a great like learning tool for you, Brandon, where you're like, gosh, if I ever need to do this again, or if I intentionally choose to do this, here's the things that I didn't get that I need. And now you can put words to it. What
I would say, Brandon, is take the things you don't like about the film and intentionally educate someone on it.
Yep.
Like, if there's something, if everything I said, you're like, nah, shut up, dude. I like all that. Okay, then that's great. But if you're like, yeah, there's a few things I would have done differently. Okay, you gotta mark that down. You gotta let the person know. So anyway, it was a good film. Weird. If you didn't see the beginning, basically Brandon got COVID, couldn't shoot the wedding
the night before.
Had to get Randa. Like, I think one of them was planning on doing it, but he had a second shooter, and then I don't know if anyone else helped. Did Brandon? Did the second shooter end up shooting all by themselves too? That's, I guess.
No, I think he hired another.
He hired another person. So it was just a total cluster, and they made it work. And so, you know, the feedback we're giving is kind of a little non-traditional, I would say. And I think I do like the vibe of all the songs, by the way. As much as I felt like the first song was a little heavy for me, it didn't allow enough space. The vibe was good on both of them. I felt like I was grooving, and I felt like it was a good for brand, and you can make a really sick edit. So, and Brandon picked those songs, so good job on those. So so that's that. Good job. So just as a reminder, we're gonna do a third film. We're gonna pick it at the end.
Third film live. So
here's our second film.
You're gonna need to go up to the top of chat. You're gonna see the Wedding Film School has pinned a comment, and it says submit films or something like that, and then with a link, and you click on that link and you add a film. because it will not just let you post it in chat here. As much as we'd love to do it, it like filters out links and stuff like that. So go ahead, submit a film right now. We're going to review our second one. And then with the third one, we're going to choose from people who are here live in chat and submit a film with that link. So go do that now.
Do it.
And our next film, sorry, I have a cough drop in, guys. I have a sore throat or something.
Just a little bit of a sore throat.
Just a little bit of like I was out of town, and then it was warm here, and now it's freezing here again, and then it snowed, and then it rained, and it's just destroying me. All right. Up next, we have Ryan Conley. Wait, did I say that? Yeah, Conley, who is also in chat. Love that. Love that for him. Love that for us. And here's what Ryan had to say. Canon R6, Tascam DR10Ls. They was super chill and laid back, so try to let that same energy come into the film.
Super chill and laid back.
Super chill.
Famous
vibes.
last words.
The bride saying, "Oh yeah, we're super chill and laid back."
Me and my friends are so chill.
Yeah.
Me and my friends are so crazy.
I've been doing a lot more dramatic films this year with 2 to 3 shooters, and this is the first one solo shooting that was more carefree. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on the edit and coverage. Inquiries have been very slow this year, and I'm wondering if I'm priced too high for the quality of work.
It's never your quality, it's always your marketing.
This advertisement brought to you by Jay. Look, man, I'm right there with you. Like, I think I do solid work. I think I'm producing some of the most interesting work in my area, but there's more to it than that. You got to market right. You got to have the right connections. And you know, like plummeting your price isn't necessarily going to fix that issue.
Probably will. Do it. I bet if you do a film for $1,300, you get a lot.
I bet if you do photo and video for $1,400 and pay Tolman Media $100K to use their name.
Proof positive. I've seen it. Do you guys like my new lighting?
Wait, I can't see. I gotta see how it looks on the actual. Oh, it's behind. It's behind. I can't see it yet.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
Jay just relighting himself while we're chatting. Gosh, pay attention. All right, cool. Well, without further ado, should we get into it?
Let's do it. Here we go. Well, hold on. Here we don't
Alex,
go.
yes, you can resubmit if you want. Oh, Zachary James, formerly Z Breezy. Now I know who you are.
It's going to sound real good on the mic.
Dude, this is so chill, so laid back.
Man, these people are so chill and laid back.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
What is that? Like
in the video, we'll let the music die out, and it'll be cool editing. So what's up good here?
Talk to Jack. It's going well.
Not today.
Huh?
Please be serious. Oh.
You had everything I said. Bullet points, you'll be fine.
Got me.
At this time, Luke, please repeat after me. Allie, I promise to love you and commit to you my whole life. I promise to be there for you when you need me, to be honest with you, to be faithful to you.
A lot to remember here.
I'm gonna let you read it. Yes,
Okay, we like that.
I got it all. I even have it in Braille.
We already signed the paperwork. It's official.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Dude, it's beautiful color on it. Beautiful. Thank you.
Your hair looks nice.
Thank you. I did it myself.
Oh, you did.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present for the first time the newly married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Luke Rivera. Thank God we can all drink now.
As a feisty young gymnast doing cartwheels and handsprings on the front lawn in heels and traveling around the great state of New Jersey to all your gymnastics meets, to a young woman captaining the high school gymnastics teams, to holding your own with your brother and his friends. These friends became your brothers after Kyle's passing. Allie, we are delighted for you and how you have created close family friendships. Your mom and I are so proud of you, the beautiful person you become, so intelligent, thoughtful, and caring, with an amazing smile. I know your brother Kyle is smiling down on you today with the same feelings.
Wow. I try not to. Stunningly beautiful. Just as I think she is. Sorry.
Allie, we have so many great memories of you growing up, being on Siesta Key at Alokai Beach watching the fireworks. Those trips to Manchester, Vermont sail days.
You ready?
I am. I only tear out of one eye.
I know you do.
Isn't that weird?
I find it funny.
No, that's what happens.
Love you.
Some of you too. So,
who's wearing that hat?
This is gonna be fun. Photographer again.
Just gonna get through this damn ceremony.
When I think of Allie, I think of how resilient she is, even when it seemed impossible. She has a strong spirit and an unshakable soul. Luke, I applaud you for your patience, and trust me, I speak with experience from living with this very special. Thank you for taking care of her, supporting her, and loving her the way you do.
2 years after meeting Luke in 2017, Lindsay's friend from New Jersey was visiting and also joined us at the concert. That friend was Allie. One thing I've always appreciated about Luke is that he's always known what he wants. Always said his dream girl would have long, dark hair and wouldn't be afraid to tell him where to shove it if he got out of line. And after a couple hours with Allie, we knew we found the girl for him.
Let's be real, everyone. These two are a match made in sarcastic heaven. Let's raise a glass to this beautiful couple, to today, to forever. We will all love you for all of your days. Love you.
So, I don't know what happened there.
Was that the end?
I don't
Or
know.
was this a classic scenario of it cut off like 10 seconds when we imported it?
You know what? It could have been me. Could have been me.
Jay, he was messing with his lighting.
No.
And this is what we get.
It was, I'll fix it in 1 second. When I exported it, I messed it up. But guess what? Never fear. It'll take 5 seconds to fix because I have a really fast computer.
Woo!
I just got 4 more Mac Studios for the
Dang.
studio, 2 Ultras, a new Mac Mini, and a new iMac.
Whoa.
So we're
That's a lot of power.
Well, yeah, if anybody wants to buy a $16,000 Mac Pro for 6 or 7, I'm happy to sell you that right now.
Heard it here first. First dibs going to the live community.
Community. It's actually a really dope computer. But honestly, the new Mac Studios are just absolutely insane. They're so good.
Dang.
In my experience. Okay, we're back.
Well,
We're back.
Let's
do the end of this film.
Patience
Fast
and
forward,
trust me, I speak with experience from living with this very special. Thank you for taking care of her, supporting her, and loving her the way you do.
2 years after meeting Luke in 2017, Lindsay's friend from New Jersey was visiting and also joined us at the concert. That friend was Allie. One thing I've always appreciated about Luke is that he's always known what he wants. Always said his dream girl would have long, dark hair and wouldn't be afraid to tell him where to shove it if he got out of line.
Yes, Chris.
And after a couple hours with Allie, we knew we found the girl for him.
Let's be real, everyone. These two are a match made in sarcastic heaven. Let's raise a glass to this beautiful couple, to today, to forever. We will all love you for all of your days. Love you.
Statistically, that can't be true. Some of us are going to have a falling out
Proclaim your love
at
and
some
commitment
point.
to one another in
Some
the
of us
eyes
don't even know who you
of
are.
your loved
We
ones,
are friends
and with the power vested in me by the Universal Life Church and the state of
Oh,
Florida.
yeah.
I am so
Classic
happy to
Universal
pronounce you
Life Church.
husband and wife.
Okay, Bobby, what did you like? And what did you think could be improved? We'll get to that later, but let's do what did we like first.
All right. I did not write a whole lot down. I should have done better.
Well,
Okay.
Just use your memory. It's a real thing. that you
Yeah.
have.
I have a terrible memory is the issue.
Ah.
Okay. So I kind of liked this intro for this film. Like, I think my gut reaction is I was like, oh gosh, okay. But then like, they are so laid back and chill, Jay.
They are so laid back and chill.
That's true. But yeah, I think like, I don't know, like this kind of set the tone. So I guess I like the purpose of this opening, you know, with the groom here waiting. I think he's waiting for the first look. It kind of sets the tone for me. That's like, this isn't going to be like a super serious, although there actually were serious parts, but like, yeah, a super serious standard wedding film. I think that there was, you know, a good effort to making this like fun, fast pace while still having a little bit of like content, right? A little bit of like meat on the bone, so to speak. And I think, look, this was solo shot. You had some decent coverage. I'm gonna get into some on the coverage side, in the things I think could be improved upon. But yeah, and like, look, I think, you know, you went for something that represented the couple, and I think you probably hit that. Like, it's fun, it's upbeat, it's not, you know, this slow cinematic thing. But with that said, I think there were areas to be improved upon for sure as well.
I think it's a very, first of all, the pricing thing. No, it's not the films. The films are fine. This is fine. A lot of couples would kill to have this, and so I think that's great. I think you really, really pulled their personality out. You did something fun. I have some issues with the editing and storytelling, but I also think in general that it was successful storytelling, and you went for a different, and this is the big thing I'll say. It was a very smart decision to slow it down in the middle.
Yeah.
Because it was,
I was going to, I wouldn't say roast you, but that was going to be one of my things where I was like, dude, this film needs some like
I think most films, it's not just the content, it's like you need relief.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in any kind of storytelling, like a film that feels too manic, that too long, it's exhausting. Like to watch, and so I think that was smart. Slow it down, and like give it a little more space. I think that was a good decision. So, where do you think he could be improved?
Yeah, so okay, I want to just, because I kind of ended on it, I want to start on it. I said you had good coverage, and I do think that's the case for a solo shooter, but I also think that it was very clear this was shot solo. And the reason I say that is it's almost, I don't think you're handheld. I think you're on gimbal, and I would, if you are, I would practice with your gimbal a little bit more, because I think some of that gimbal felt handheld to me. But that's not even really my, like, I don't think that's bad. That's just a random observation. But I don't think, outside of this section right here that we're seeing, there was not a lot that I would consider intentional in your filming. It felt very just like, capture the day. I'm on one lens. I'm medium wide the entire day. You know, my framing is like mostly medium wide. My framing is not always like framed intentionally. And so I think that's like a big thing to me. I think this was one of the first films you solo shot, you said, and there's some glimpses that you closely know what you're doing, like right here, and you have some close-ups.
Actually, I want to show one thing right there, Bobby. Well, to me, this is a wedding filmmaking no-no.
Which?
When you look at her skin,
and
you see all her makeup chunks, you really cannot put that in a film. Like, that will cost you money, because women who spend all this, and like, she's a beautiful girl, you gotta soften that and make her look her best, or shoot wider. Or I by the way, it's gonna seem like you're judgmental. It's not. You're looking out for your couples. When you're shooting with someone like this, and they're putting on tons and tons of makeup, observe that.
Yeah.
And then make focal decisions based on that. Make editing decisions based on that. That's part of making someone look their best. If someone has a lot of makeup on, they might have great skin. They might not have great skin. You know, they're going to be insecure about that. All that stuff. If I was one of my guys is editing this, I would be like, you can't put this shot in. She got two big chunks of lipstick on her lips. Her pores are really open. She's not going to look her best. Let's back that up. Let's soften it. I would just look at this thing and say, I don't think she would love how she looks. And for that reason, I typically try not to get this close with bridal prep. Anyway, that's just me.
I will sometimes, but I do think, like, yeah, you got to be conscious of it. And then so that was kind of my big thing. The couple smaller things I would say, the break between, I think it was between song 1 and song 2, it lasted, it was like too long for me, given that you ended on something from the officiant saying something.
While we're on this shot, Bobby,
I can't remember it.
This horizon bothers me so bad.
Yeah, I know it's not a horizon because it's like a curved,
but it's just like,
I don't like this angle. You're like shooting down on him. This shot was, I think, the number one shot that I would change in this film, especially because we see it. Like,
and it's important. It's like an important story shot. I just, anyway.
And then the last very small thing, I would try kicking a light on your couple when they're at the head table, and that way you don't have to blow out their LED of their last name. And
the lights seem just underpowered throughout the, like, throughout the dancing and stuff.
Anyway, that's what I got.
Okay, so for me, the audio mix was not good. The dynamics between the speaking and the ambient audio and the music, they were just so close, and it was making me feel like I was losing my mind. Like,
maybe you were losing your mind.
No, it creates like auditory chaos, and you really need to like not fill up all the sonic space. Like give the song a little more breaks. And I was listening to it and I was like, oh man, like these people will not shut up this entire film. It's like blah, 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 in the background, everything's blasting, and it was like, I would say, just take what the song gives you a little more, or you don't need to fill every moment up with ambient audio to make it feel connected to the day. Overall, I think it was a win the way you chose to integrate the audio, because I think they would probably love hearing more of themselves. I would just say, from a standpoint of like the mix, it was off, and then from a standpoint of like a lot of times there's ambient audio playing and there wasn't anything happening, and then you'd cut to the shot and it just ended up feeling kind of chaotic to me. So I would say maybe clean that up. I think a lot of the composition needs a little work, like we mentioned. Intentionality, getting people centered, getting, cinematic composition. And then I was also going to say, I'm trying to find this shot. There's a shot where you can see his lights. I think the lighting in the reception needs and also a lot of focus pumping too, which always bothers me. I don't like focus pumping. Throughout, like missing focus, but where is it? That's a good shot.
Yeah,
I like that stuff right there. I even kind of like that like direct lit kind of look that he did in some of those.
Yeah, I think it works for this film.
Some of those moments, but like, where is it? You're gonna see his lights during the dance.
Where is that?
It's the thing I always say, which is shoot shadow side, right?
Yep.
Like if you have like two lights and they're crossing each other, which I think is what he did, is he had like one light like kind of here and the other light. I gotta put my hands in front of the camera. And like then he's shooting next to one of the lights, and so you kind of have a backlight and then the key light, right? It looks usually better if you're shooting into a shadow. There it is, right? So there's a light back there backlighting them, and then like it looks, there has to be a light on them in the foreground, right, Bobby?
I feel like yes.
It looks just non-dynamic, and I'm trying to figure out exactly why. But I would have shot.
It could be that they're right under one of those like can lights in this, or I don't even know what's on the ceiling. We see those can lights in the back, but there might be something else, like a chandelier or something.
Yeah, I just look at it and I think like, figure out an intentional look. You know what it is to me is the differential between the shadow space and the highlights, Bobby. Like I like to see wider, like hotter highlights and then kill the background a little bit.
Okay.
Like to me, I would want it to be like all the people in the background look almost like they're in the darkness.
Yep.
In the couples. That might just be my look, what I like to get.
That's tip. I think I try to go for that too.
But this just
Sometimes
looks like
it's hard though.
The levels are too close between your key light and your subject, and it makes it non-dynamic. So I'd say that might be a thing that you might want to work on. That being said, like I feel like I roasted this film, and actually like it's a very solid film, and keep doing like more. Like I think your instincts on the type of film to make were really, really good, and it's just awesome to lead into that stuff. Just tighten it up. Like tighten up, like, and get more table details. I always say this to you guys. If you want to make more money and you want to shoot luxury films, you've got to learn to shoot table details. You've got to learn to shoot reception halls. You've got to learn to shoot like sexy stuff, like, and not just hang with the couple all day. And I know a lot of people like that bothers them. That's fine. Actually, I don't care if it bothers you. I'm telling you, I know I'm right about this. Like you know, deliver, especially if you're considering, you want to work with planners more. You got to kind of show people, hey, I can do this stuff. So, but it was a really, really good film. And I think keep making films like this. In terms of getting more bookings, Bobby, we were talking about this on the podcast episode we did with you, but
yep,
it's a tough season for a lot of people, guys. Keep hanging in there. But it's definitely one of those things where there's a lot going on in the world. So, Bobby, so why don't you pick a film and Slack it to me. I'm going to show you guys a film I just did.
I was going to say, well, we can do that. I was going to say we did get a submission from Ray Roman if we wanted to show his in between while we pick another film. But
That's fine.
We can show yours if you would prefer.
I don't care either way. I have this one queued up, so I might as well. This is me.
All right, Ray. We'll do yours another time.
No, I got.
And we will not critique it because
who am I to critique
that?
It. So this is a film the reason I was going to play this one, Bobby, is we're doing a BTS of this one.
Oh, cool.
This is the first one.
Before we start this, guys, you have 1 minute to submit before I pick on random number generator.
Yes.
Your odds are good. We have like 25.
This is only a teaser anyway, so it'll only take 30 seconds. So we just did this one. Got her this. This is the reason I wanted to show you this is this has a bunch of table details. And it's like, to me, this is a lot of what people should be trying to get. And we got this.
If you want, you can pay Jay $100,000 to open a region of his.
Stop, Go, Love.
It's called Tolman Empire.
Stop, Go, Love.
Region. Stop, Go, Love.
But we did this, I don't know, 3 days after the event.
So dark and candly.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then this is our new ending screen for the year.
Oh.
So we're doing Blob with the planners.
I like it.
But I was just going to say, when I'm talking about, like, to me, this is like the look I like for a reception hall.
Yeah.
It's like,
given they had. Are you throwing a light on any of that?
Nope.
So dark and candly. But I will say, this is something. I actually saw this Grant Fitzgerald, who is not in chat right now, but he usually is here with us. He was saying, I think it was in Wedding Film School in the Facebook group, which you should all join if you are not in. I think he was saying something like, I want to see a luxury filmmaker shoot my weddings, basically. Like, low budget. How
low budget?
Well, I don't know. But, like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, that is a beautiful setting with a lot of thought that went into it.
Oh, yeah.
By that planner, right? And a lot of money that went into it, too. And so Ryan saying we should do a video, a how-to details video, which would be interesting. And I feel like it would be interesting because, like, those are beautiful shots, but how do you emulate that in a, you know, I don't know, what was this, $100,000 wedding or something?
Yeah,
how do you
this
emulate
is more
that
than
in
that,
a
but
$40,000 wedding?
Well, I would think what's interesting is, like, we have these opportunities because we shot it at a $40,000 wedding.
Well, yes, and I think, like, the base, right, like the ground level, at its core, the thought process is the same. It's just this is more, you know, has more.
This is what I'll say. My mini tutorial that I can give right now is what is the thing to focus on and what is the thing to hide.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And in this setting,
how do you use light?
We have
depth
incredible chandeliers,
like
right? And we have incredible middle, and we have good stuff at the bottom of the frame, and, like, showing all that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And then using foreground, and then also like this right here, they were pouring. Just knowing how events are set up, like, they're gonna go pour the drinks, and I'm looking around, and there's these little things floating, and all of them, and I go to Jared, I'm like, Ronnie, get that. He's pouring all the drinks. Go get him pouring the drinks.
Yeah.
We're gonna use this. Like it
Well,
just,
and I think one of the things too is people always fall back. They're like, "Oh, well, luxury wedding. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so easy." And it's like, well, no, because like the expectations are a lot higher. You can't come away with something that doesn't look like this and be like, "Oh yeah, I don't know, I just made a mistake." Like
it
a
really comes
low-budget
down
wedding,
to like they're gonna pour champagne at a low
there's
budget
less
wedding too.
Pressure. Yeah.
They're gonna pour drinks,
And you
they're
can
gonna-
elevate that and make it look very good still.
Sure. Like you can light it. We don't have to light it at these weddings. We're lucky because they all have pin spots. But I'll tell you this lighting designer, I work with him a lot, and I'll be like, I don't
Well,
want.
and you guys were using lighting in the last BTS we did.
Huh?
So it's not like the last BTS that you guys, the one with Jared, I think he was second.
We
shooter.
lit this one too for this
Yeah.
BTS. We lit the ceremony because there was.
Oh yeah, I saw that, yeah.
So there was no, but we light a lot of stuff. If there's no light, we add light. If there is light, we leave it alone. But in general, it's just like knowing what a good shot is and knowing what good light is. Like, look at how sick the light coming through the pour is.
Yeah.
It's just like we're lucky with this one. But either way, I'm excited about this BTS because it's one of the nicest looking weddings we've ever covered on the channel.
Yeah.
In one of my very favorite hotels in Boston, the Newberry. It's super dope. And with an awesome photographer, awesome wedding planner, it's awesome. So I can't wait to release it.
Yeah. Covert Ops Films, I would challenge you on that. I think if couples portraits aren't happening in a low budget wedding, that is on you. All right.
Yes.
So I've given you more than a minute because I lost track of time. Let me go ahead and choose our last film.
I didn't see Ray's submission, by the way. Where was it?
He is number 508.
Where is he on the
If you'd like
form?
to search by number. Yes. All right. I am picking random number generator. And we got 5. Oh, I can't do. I don't. Can we do a Google Drive right now?
If yes. Okay. Just Slack it over to me. This is Ray's film. You guys want to watch it?
Yeah, watch it. Just play it. We'll just play it while we get this ready.
All right. Let me make sure the sound is working.
Ray, we're gonna make your career right here. We're giving you so much exposure.
Exposure bucks.
You can thank us later.
Hold on, I gotta make sure audio's coming through. Man, there's just so many things to do in the world.
All right, I just slacked you a link. Let me know if it doesn't work.
That's not what I want at all. Okay. This is a podcast with me and Bob. This is not the thing. All right, here is a new film or an old film or some film. Is this new, Ray?
This is new. I saw him post this. This is the New Zealand one.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, I think I saw this one the other day. He's a pretty good filmmaker. Known.
He's up and coming for sure. He's gonna make some waves in the industry, I think.
I think so. I think we'll see how it goes for him. But in general, everyone can learn a little bit. Yeah, I did one like this. I feel like this is like a bit of a different song choice for Ray.
Our love is not the flowery fairy tale type. It is a more intense, deep, in my soul kind of love.
However, I couldn't waste this opportunity.
This bride
to tell you
kind of looks like
before
Sharon.
the closest people in our lives, the most beautiful place on earth, why I think you're the most incredible person I've ever met, and why we are so blessed to be together.
Welcome to my hometown.
Sam, I love you with all my heart, truly. I will always love you. I will always keep loving you.
I love the multi-axis gimbal moves. That's so
Yeah.
pro.
It like also used so well in that like spot.
the thing about Ray too is like, and good filmmakers in general, is they don't do like throwaway composition on their drone.
Yep. Also intentional.
Everything is
That's
composed.
what we're talking about. Like intentionality sets people apart. Ray's gonna go
mountains,
places, I think.
among nature,
pretty good.
Knowing that there is no hill or mountain it's too steep for them to climb. As
Smart.
long as they do it together.
I'd like to welcome you all to the greatest week-long Christmas to New Year's Eve wedding in New Zealand.
Oh, he's got mics.
That any of us have ever been
He's
invited
got mics
to.
in the background.
Max, I'm with you on that.
The only one person on this planet you can count on till the end of your lives is each other. So you need to always put each other first and be selfish with
3
the rest of the
minutes.
world.
That's the sweet spot. A 3 minute film.
Lewis, you may kiss the bride.
Is that Tiki Barber?
Oh, I think you might be right.
Is he an athlete? He must be like a rugby player or someone.
Tiki Barber, he was a football player.
No. The groom.
Oh.
That nice Wakanda wedding.
Love it.
Sick film, Ray. Really good. You know, Ray doesn't get enough credit. Well, he gets lots of credit. He probably gets too much credit. No, but I don't think he gets enough credit for his composition.
Very, very good.
Like, just no throwaway shots. Everything looks like it's there for a reason. And we all know he's savage, but I think the edits are savage too. He's like, meh, crap.
Mm-hmm.
The film is only the good stuff all through and through, and it just feels tight. And I always like, it's like, if you're watching it, you're like, why do my films feel so bloated? It's like, because your film is 7 minutes long and Ray's was 3, and given
you're
he
filling
shot
it with stuff that you didn't need, wasn't intentionally.
This was a nice wedding, but it wasn't like.
It's not like an over-the-top Ray Roman wedding, I would say.
No, like the wedding I just showed, like in some ways,
the actual
looks
wedding.
more like, ooh, you know. This
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
obviously the setting is way more crazy and the couple and stuff. But like when you see it, it's like
a nice.
They're
tent
sitting
on
in
a
like
hilltop and
they're sitting at outside and like
yeah,
you know,
I mean
lot
that
of
location is pretty cool, but I get what you're saying. It's not.
I'm saying, like, if you're like, what do I do with details? What do I do if I don't have
like
X,
look
Y,
at
or
some
Z,
other
or
of
like.
Ray's weddings. Like this is obviously gorgeous, but it's not like.
That's the craziest part is the reception area or the ceremony area, but the like later they're just kind of like normal outside
in some
wedding
cool spot and looks
reception, and like he still elevated it because freaking, you know, he picked the parts of the day. That is pretty dope though. Dang. I don't know. It's a great film. Moving on.
Okay, so I saw this guy in chat, and he was like, I submitted a month ago, and I've still been waiting. David Diesta, who is David Diesta, you were randomly chosen by the number gods, random number generator. So we are going to review your film, but it's a good reminder to you guys, if you submitted a month ago, it's not in a queue. We're not working through a list, and when you add, you get added to the bottom. Every week, it's a new... You know, like if you start submitting right now, it'll submit you for next week, and we will choose from that. We aren't going to keep a list; it's too much, so that's how we choose to do it. So please remember that. And
I will say this: I typically it's hard to go back. So, like you were saying, you gotta.
Yeah, we get a lot of submissions every week, every day. Like just today, guys, we had like 25 submissions just for this third one, which is not like a ton. I get that, but like think about that every week, and then when we choose to take them live, we get another 25, and like it's just there's too much.
I'm gonna download it because this thing is not wanting to play.
All right. Well, while you download that, I will tell you guys a few things. One. If you want priority in getting your films reviewed, consider becoming a member of Wedding Film School. Helps the channel out, helps us continue to create free content BTS stuff, reviews, the podcast, this live stream. And it starts at just $5 a month, actually $4.99. We would appreciate it. Thank you. We have tons of members in this chat right now. And it gets you some things, including priority, placement in basically we'll give your submissions a priority. In getting film reviews. It also gets you in like a private group and stuff like that.
Which we got to do more with.
Yeah, we do need to do more with. But with that said,
I was going to also mention, I just did a video on a NAS, and isn't it funny how that's like a topic where like, I was like, I'm going to make this video. It's going to do terrible on YouTube.
Yeah, we just know. Sometimes our videos that we do, we're just like, this is not built for YouTube. It's not clickbaity, but when somebody's like, oh, should I get a NAS? And then they find our thing, they're going to be like, oh my God, this is the best.
I should
video.
get a NAS. I should.
Yeah, and more wedding filmmakers should care more about some of that.
Wedding filmmakers are obsessed on cameras and spend are ignorant and spend no money on storage. It's so funny to me. But if you're interested in getting a NAS, and the reason I think you should get a NAS, which is not for editing, by the way, you should check out the video. Head over and check it on the channel. It's about how to do auto backups to the cloud from your NAS. And
very final thing before we jump into this, guys, the Wedding Film School Show Season 3, our podcast, which lives over on our sister channel, the Wedding Film School Show, and also on all podcast platforms, is kicking off in 5 days, and we are starting with an absolute banger, an entire podcast episode dedicated to tearing down Tolman Media. I mean, talking about Tolman Media. And wow, it is a wild ride, guys. I wasn't a super big part of the research in this. Jay was. He polled a lot of people. He talked to a lot of people who shot for them. He watched podcast episodes. He even took Brian Tolman's class, all for you guys. And there is a lot of fun to be had in this podcast. So check that out. We're going to be dropping episodes now weekly, starting on the 7th, 5 days.
Yeah, Tuesday releases now too.
Tuesday.
Here we go. Tell me about this film a little bit, just briefly.
Yeah, David Diesta, in chat while we watch this, please just give us kind of like tell us about this day, about this wedding, about whatever.
And let us know if you're good or not. Tell us, I am good. I am good.
So, let me know if you're better or worse than Ray Roman.
Yes.
Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of...
I'm definitely not going to watch this whole film, guys, because it's too long. So, just as a heads up.
Angered. It keeps no record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hope, and always...
Okay, just off the bat, Bobby, the audio on this is painful.
Got it.
You cannot...
Can't use that for audio.
You cannot do this. And you cannot start with...
Yeah, you're ruining, like, you can't market this to anybody because immediately the first thing they see, hear, whatever, the first thing they're like, oh my God, this audio is bad.
And the shaky handheld and like...
Yeah, no matter what you do, you're not going to like get that potential client back.
We're 30 seconds in, we haven't seen a person. So we got to get to the...
Also that.
Yeah.
Interesting thought, though, that, you know what I'd be very curious about is running this audio through the Adobe, whatever it's called.
I guess, but also it's just the same.
I'd just be really curious more than anything.
It's the same Bible verse that everyone reads at every wedding.
Oh yeah, it's like quality and content is an issue here.
You don't need to play something generic. Like it's not personal. I'm not getting any insight into who the couple is, except for that I know that they're something kind of Christian, and they maybe, but probably it's a Bible verse. Most people typically are reading from their own sacred text at their ceremony. But other than that, it's just like, it's not worth the sacrifice. It's one thing if it's like this crazy moment was amazing and you're like, the audio was crap, but it was so interesting. So anyway, moving on.
This is a first wedding film, Jay.
Great. Now I'm teaching you something about wedding filmmaking.
Yep. You gotta have the pack of cigarettes on the the table. You want that included in every shot.
That is so funny.
Where is this, David? Let us know in chat.
Okay, we'll skip this. Wow. Okay, so right here we have from minute to minute. Wow, dude.
That what, like 2 minutes or no, like a minute and a half of people entering?
Yeah.
Straight up.
It's like uncut.
That out too.
Like, so
yeah.
This is not a good shot. This should not like this. Your lens is too tight. Like, it's just not like, again, this is not important information to include in your film.
Yep. And that's why this is, what is it, 9 minutes? I can't read the text.
It's 9 minutes. We're not watching.
Yeah, that's why this is 9 minutes. Like, there's so much that I can tell you already that's stuff in here that doesn't need to be in here. And you're going to make such, I understand, especially when you're new and you're not in the industry, I think, because I think clients think this way, where it's like a longer film is a better film, but a longer film is not a better film, not inherently.
Well, it's just the same loop. We're
Yeah.
2 minutes in, and like.
You want to play this on the guitar for us?
I can try.
There you go. Guys, this is just for you. This is you didn't have to pay for this concert.
I think I could learn it. Capo 2 or 4. Anyway, this shot right here. So what I'm going to try to do here, because I don't want to rip into it, because I first film, I appreciate what you're doing. I'm going to be real with you. There's not a lot of things I like about this. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you things I would improve. This shot right here, this guy is standing there, and there's a really there's an important compositional concept. First of all, seeing who people are talking to is important. Second of all, his lead is totally wrong. So instead of putting him on the left side, the lead, I don't even like, I almost never shoot behind a couple when they're doing something like this, by the way. But he's talking to someone. That is the groom, right? Yeah.
I think so.
He's talking to someone, but the lead is behind him. So the reason like filmmakers would do that is like
and the bride is there kind of cut off.
Like the reason why filmmakers will sometimes compose a shot like this is because they want you to look at the background. Because they like the villain's gonna appear, or something. It's supposed to create tension. You don't want to create tension in a wedding film. So
makes the viewer uneasy.
To honor him, to comfort him, and to give him in sickness. From this day forward.
You got to get more lenses.
Yeah, I think this is shot one camera, one lens.
Like there's just no reason you should be this close to this person.
For Richard, for Richard.
Yeah, he liked that. He liked saying for richer.
And look, this is like, it's very clear you're in a very tight space.
This is basically just a ceremony edit.
Yeah, 50 millimeter. So Jay, here's a question. You know, David's in chat. It's his first wedding. He's like, oh, I only have a 50 millimeter. Oh, I don't have an audio solution.
I would not.
And I have my thought. Would you encourage somebody to shoot a wedding when at that point?
I think fine. I don't consider this to be a full wedding film. This is just,
I would agree.
This is just a ceremony that he shot for someone.
Yeah.
And then with one lens and no audio
and put it all together.
I would say you need to shoot with someone else.
That is my exact recommendation. I think this is, if you are undergeared and underexperienced, you can shoot undergeared and you can build up experience, whatever, but you're going to be, I think for you specifically, you're going to be much better served finding somebody who you can shoot with, and that's when you can stay on a 50 all day and not have a audio solution, and
you're not going to be able to charge money. You're not going to be able to charge money for a film for a product where you have no audio and you don't have the right focal lengths to even deal with the size of the room.
Yeah.
And then your composition is all over the place.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it doesn't
it's a
mean
learning experience.
It
too.
does
Like,
not mean
this
that
is-
you can't get good at those things, but you should know that it's better to work with someone who can be like, hey, this is how to get this moment.
Yeah.
Like,
and this is what happens at a wedding. This is things you need to be prepared for. These are things that can come up.
this is my question to you, since you're in the chat. We'll do a little coaching. How many weddings have you been a part of besides this one, from the shooting standpoint? Have you ever shot with someone else? That's my first question.
I feel like my guess is no.
That is my guess as well.
Yeah. But I could be wrong.
So
Nope, 0, he said.
0. So I would say that is.
Yeah, I think that's what I would.
Yeah,
work on
you
if
got
I
to
were
get at a wedding because I think you don't know what the expectation is. And I think that's the first thing is get expectations down. This is a ceremony edit on a single camera in a tiny room with the total wrong focal length and very little pacing and just no offense, not really a film I can give much feedback to. And so
Yeah, but I think that you also probably learned a lot from doing this.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I
also,
want to
like,
give you all the
there's some-
like credit for submitting, and hope I apologize.
Oh
for
yeah,
being
100%.
savage.
And also, like, I think it's worth saying, like, look, we watched like the first, I don't know, 30 seconds. Like, the first 30 seconds to me, look, there was a lot to change, a lot that I could dissect, but it definitely felt and looked better than the last 8.5 minutes.
He was. The other question I have, David, is how long were you there for?
Yeah.
Right. Like if this was just a ceremony edit, I would not try to cut together this film out of it. I would just give them a full ceremony, put it on tripod, and leave it alone. Like,
yeah, I think you're trying to make a product that you aren't.
this is not how you create these types of films. The film you're trying to create, the highlight film that you see all over the internet, is a 10 hours, 11 hours of coverage, maybe 8, but a lot of hours. There's a lot of different locations. There's all different types of things to shoot, and you could be like, well, I don't have those things. Okay, you just can't make that film. You have to make
Don't
a
we
different
talk
film.
about that? Like, I feel like we were talking about that somewhere or something where it's like you got to make the film that you're hired for.
Yeah, you got to make the film that that you shot. Like whatever you're like, if someone, I personally would never agree to shoot this.
Same.
Like I would be like, it's
At
not
this
worth
point in our career, though.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. But for you, you probably learned a lot, and I think that's awesome. Like keep going. Like here's what I really want to say to young people: if you're interested in cameras, this is a great way to make a living. There are a lot of people willing to pay you to help them. I would even
Dude,
go
I'll
find
pay somebody to carry my tripods and stuff. Like I need an assistant at every wedding, and sometimes a second shooter, and like that's a great you get paid.
Where do you live, David?
You get paid to learn under somebody with a lot of experience and not like tooting my own horn or whatever, but like, and then a lot of these people go and build their own businesses and become profitable.
Abu Dhabi, UAE. So
UAE.
I don't know the market. This is what
sure.
my question would be: are there any filmmakers who make films that you love in the area? I would reach out to them on Instagram. I would say, I want to become a wedding filmmaker. I will help you for free.
Yeah.
Let
me take you out to coffee.
Like I will assist him with you. I will do whatever, but like whatever it takes for you to get around people who know how to do what you want to do, that'll be the fastest way to getting to do it on your own. And so I really encourage you, keep doing it. The fact that you love shooting is awesome. So keep, I don't want to discourage you. Keep it up.
Yep. Sweet. Well, we made it.
We succeeded.
We've reviewed films. We've seen good films all day. We saw a Ray Roman film, a treat for you all. We pitched the new podcast starting in 5 days. Pitch it again. Not new podcast. New season of the podcast. I've coughed throughout the stream. Lots. And I finished all my drinks. I had coffee, I had tea, I have water. I'm out. I think that means we need to wrap it up.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. It means so much to us. If you want to check out the new video we did on how to use a NAS, that helps our channel a lot. The other thing I would say is like this video. If you're watching it now, we've had a lot of people in here. Drop a like.
Yes,
Let
yes.
YouTube know that Wedding Film School is still a thing, even though Craig Adams is not here.
R.I.P.
So give it a like, and it means a lot to us on our channel. We love you guys. We can't wait to do more content, and definitely subscribe to our sister channel, The Wedding Film School Show. Have a great day.
See you next week. Bye.